Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. And the number one old person habit that you've adopted, even though you're not old, and Kenzie brought up, I got to go everywhere with a sweater. Got to turn around the car. I got to get a sweater.
It's just so chilly everywhere.
Well, when you go into Red Robin, you don't know how cold it might be in there.
Oh
You
my
want to be
gosh,
comfortable.
just crank that AC.
Yeah. We're not there yet, but at that point when there's some restaurants in Chicago that love it about 42 degrees in the summertime, just crank that AC in there.
They ruin it. Like, you're finally warm, and they're like, psych.
Nope. Let's pretend it's February.
Mm-hmm.
And Case said yelling at kids, which again is...
to get off my lawn specifically.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just escalated too much. Just remember when you were a kid and did dumb things, and let people do dumb things. It's okay. Ringing your doorbell's fine. Ringing your Ring doorbell, you got a picture of it. That's kind of funny. You could talk to them easier now. You couldn't
We
do that in
posted
the
it
old
on our
days.
neighborhood sites, and the kids get in trouble.
Is that right?
Yeah, because you just post a picture of the kid. Like, I can see you, idiot. It's not, like, you're not doing a good job.
I'm in my parents' neighborhood Facebook group because it's just funny because it's a neighborhood of old people. And last summer there was drama. Some kids put BMX ramps in the street. And then somebody filmed them and then called the cops on them for riding their bikes. They said, this is not a BMX park. These kids need to get back in their homes.
Oh.
And that's why there's an obesity epidemic in this country. Kids can't leave their homes anymore.
Damn right. And
Go
also,
sit down and play on their phones. It's like, that's not good.
I'm aware that somebody could have built a BMX ramp back in the day, but this is certainly the evolution of YouTube because I bet it was a really nice BMX ramp.
Brian, I want to drive 3 hours to Indianapolis to go home to ride with these 8-year-olds. It looks so awesome.
I'm going to bring my mountain bike. I'm going to put it on the car. I'm going to drive to Indianapolis.
Is he out Baldwin? That sounded the voicemail.
And I'm going to turn around and come back. All right, so here we go. These are some of the top old person habits that younger people in Chicago have adopted. And this one I wouldn't say is new, but having a plastic bag full of other plastic bags.
I have that.
Yeah, Casey got that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you take the Target bag, you throw the other Target bags in there.
But I use them every day.
Every day?
Every single day I use the plastic bags.
All right. What are you putting in them?
Because when I cook and I'm like chopping onions and like cleaning up like chicken cutlets and stuff like that, I don't like to throw that in our big garbage can, like throwing like seafood shells or meat because it'll just become like rancid.
Yeah.
So I put it in there and we throw it in the outside garbage. So I use it every single day.
Very nice. Very,
Right.
very reasonable. Also, before we keep moving, somebody on the text line said they stole batteries. They steal batteries.
Oh my God. Yeah, he goes, I steal batteries because they're too expensive. I'm like, I don't know if that's like an old person thing or just like a theft thing.
No, the best thing about being old and when you're getting old at some point, I see my grandmother, is you can do whatever you want. You're going to get a pass.
That's true.
Because you've made it a long way. You've earned the right to possibly steal something, and no one's going to call the cops on an 80-year-old grandma. I can't wait till I'm 80. It'll be great.
You're going to become a kleptomaniac?
I'm going to steal cars.
I think they'll call the cops if you steal a car. I think they will.
Also on this, old person habits you've adopted, using closed captioning on everything you watch. Now, I also don't, that's a iffy because the way shows are produced, I like having closed captioning on almost all the time. I'm not trying to say I'm old, but I like to have it on because I can't understand always what the way they do sound effects now and everything. This sounds so old.
The way they do.
These young whippersnappers, I can't understand them.
But tell me I'm wrong. Do you watch it, Kenzie, with closed captioning on?
I don't. I have not adopted that yet.
Case?
I do.
Yeah, Case does. He's younger than all of us.
But I'm also the oldest spiritually of the three of us.
You are. But I mean, I'll sit there and we'll be watching, and I guess this is something that I've acquired because of it, that if I used to miss one piece of dialogue and not care, now I got to know, wait, what'd they say? What did they exactly say? Go on, rewind it. Closed captioning's on. Okay, what'd they say right
what
there?
did Turtle say to drama? I'm rewatching Entourage for the 11th time. I have to know.
Probably not that groundbreaking. I think you could miss it and still understand the plot.
And by the way, we did an earlier fact, I remember a month ago, where more than 50% of Chicagoans watch TV with closed captioning on.
That's right.
Mostly younger age range. Also in this, old person habits you've adopted, wanting to stay home.
Yeah.
No, just not wanting to leave the house. I used to always want to go out. I used to be out 7 nights a week. 7 nights a week I used to be out. And obviously things have changed in life when you get married and have a child. You want to maybe stay home a little bit. Some people want to get out of the house more when they have that, when they get married and have a kid.
I've noticed.
But also I think post-pandemic, people made some really cool bunkers and man caves and she sheds. I remember we did those live streams at night where we talked to listeners when we couldn't get out and do appearances. And people really made their homes cool or their apartments really cool during that. And why leave? Go to Costco, get that 100-inch TV. Why would I go outside?
Yeah, absolutely.
See the world, nothing.
No, it's lame.
A couple more here. Old person habits you've adopted. A lot of our listeners checked in on this one. Eating early dinners. I don't know when you're supposed to eat, I guess 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6. But every once in a while, I'm so hungry. I'm like, F it, we're eating early. I get so. These kids make me they're exhausting me. Then I just get starving.
We've started to get that way where I used to snack. I get a little bit 4:30. I'm gonna eat a snack so I can get till dinner. Why not just eat dinner at 4:30?
That's what I mean. Because then it's an excuse because I'm so effing hungry, and I'm like, well, we're just having dinner, and it's like, well, it's 2. I'm like, shh.
Yeah. And then when you eat that dinner at 4:30, it's so good. It's like, oh my God, this full meal.
But you always kind of have a little bit. You have second dinner later. It's too early.
But it always just feels like, okay, I'm still a little hungry, just a little snack, but it's really a second dinner. And finally, the number one of Chicagoans of old person habits adopted early or younger is doing weekend errands before noon to beat the crowds. That's number one on the list. Now, I did that Saturday. We went to Costco right when they opened to see if they'd have some eggs because eggs are a hard commodity these days.
The whole thing.
And the parking lot at the Clybourne Lincoln Park Costco probably holds 1,000 cars. Mm-hmm. There was no spots.
Yep.
But before it opened,
Yep.
people lined up, waited in their car, got in line. Now, God bless Costco. They still get everybody in quickly. They get that line moving. Even got to show a card. They do it. Do you guys go anywhere early on a Saturday, Kenzie? Do you do that?
To be honest, because obviously we don't have traditional work hours. I try my hardest to run my errands on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. That's when I go to the grocery store because you cannot get out early enough on a weekend. It can't happen.
Case, what about you?
My girlfriend calls me Mussolini in the morning because Sunday mornings she knows we are out of the house by 8:30 to get to Mariano's by 9. We listen to Brian Phillips' History of Alternative in the car. If we're at Mariano's later than 9, the whole day's ruined because it's going to be too crowded. She's going to get stressed out. She's going to be grumpy, and I'm not going to handle it. So we get there early.
Got it. You used a dictator
to
pretty much lay it out there.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
All right, Clash with Kenzie coming up here in about 3 minutes after Noah Khan. And yesterday during the show, we had sports and we talked about the 3-on-3 basketball tournament the Bulls have going on. And I mentioned that we are going to be a 3-on-3 team in that Bulls Fest in August, and you can compete against us. We'll enter that and get it going. And Kenzie brought up how when she plays basketball, she runs, stops, and wiggles, and then shoots. Is that a fair description?
Kind of like a squirrel ready to jump.
Yeah.
Visually, if you have to understand.
Now, it brought up in my mind the song "Wiggle, Wiggle, Wiggle." I love that song. I love that.
Which Brian goes, "What is the name of that song?" I go, "It's Wiggle" by Jason Derulo.
Turns out it was appropriately named.
Yeah.
The hook was "Wiggle, Wiggle, Wiggle," and they called it "Wiggle." Now, by listener request, to put David Draymond Disturbed vocals from Down with the Sickness in Wiggle, like I've done for Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. That led to this whole thing where I mentioned, hey, it would have been cool maybe if they collab with Disturbed.
Well, why don't you play that Kendrick one real quick? It's in the show audio folder if you want to grab it real quick, because I don't think we've played it at 720 before. There are people that might not have heard whatever that is.
Okay, I'm trying to find it here, Case. I'm sorry I'm missing it.
So it says Kendrick Disturbed SB collab. You see that in there?
Oh, so it's kind of like Wiggles called Wiggle because they say Wiggle in it?
So you're looking for the one that says that.
Okay, so this was maybe what the Super Bowl halftime show would have sounded like if Disturbed collabed with Kendrick Lamar. This is what it could have sounded like.
Wicked or weakness. Yeah. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Bitch, sit down. Bitch, sit down.
So there's that.
That led to David Draymond coming on the show and reaching out to Kendrick Lamar to collab on a new Disturbed song. It started right here on this show.
David Draymond heard that and said, yes, more of that. That's what I want.
Now, should I play the other ones we did from there?
Let's play the Wiggle Wiggle one, because we got to play Clash with Kenzie. We got Chicago Wolves tickets on the line in just a second. But I do want to hear what you did with The Jason Derulo song that I had never heard before yesterday in Disturbed Down with the Sickness.
What is wrong with you, kids?
I know.
So this is Kenzie playing basketball that led us here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle was what she does. And you demanded Disturbed get put into the song. So here you go.
You know what to do with that big fat butt. Oh, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Just a little bit.
Shake what your mama gave you. Misbehave you.
Please stop before we get in trouble. I do not know what Snoop says the rest of it.
I just want to say you're welcome.
In advance.
Clash with Kenzie after Noah Khan, Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
We are about 6 minutes away from tickets to The Offspring, the Supercharged Worldwide and 25 tour with Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory. What a party that show is going to be Saturday, August 16th. One more show. Why not? Let's keep having a show every day in August. It'll be wonderful. But those tickets coming up here at 8. But first, a possibility that you've been hacked. We'll have this conversation because Kenzie, definitely someone is trying to do something to her accounts, her apps on her phone. And we want to just let this know. Maybe you know, we do this because we have a lot of smart listeners out there that work in IT and the wonderful world of the dark web and how people get information and what they do with it. So what exactly is going on, Kenzie?
Okay, so the first thing that happened is nail glue, because I do press on nails. Nail glue exploded in my purse onto my phone. And so my Face ID stopped working, okay?
Oh, that's a bummer.
And something that's weird is I'm like, oh my God, that means my front camera doesn't work. My front camera works fine. So I don't know what the hell Face ID is because I would have thought that it was your front camera, right?
I think that's where it comes from, the Face ID, your
it
camera.
100% doesn't because my Face ID does not work and my front camera works great. So don't know what's going on there. So suspicious number one.
Case, by the way, is afraid of Face ID and doesn't use
Not
it.
afraid of it, just aware of what it can do. And that in itself is terrifying.
Well, let me tell you something. When it breaks, it ruins your life. Not to be dramatic, but
That was dramatic.
But it is so difficult. It's so difficult if you already have it set up because, like, I really am very careful with my phone security. So I have like I can't say this word. We've talked about this before. Authenticators. Authenticators. Okay. So
Sounds
I have
careful.
like authenticator apps. But I do. So listen. So I have authenticator apps and those use Face ID and they give you like a code and stuff like that. And I have that for a lot of my apps to like help, like another form just so you can't log in with a password.
Hold on. Slow down for a second. We use an authenticator here at work to open our email. We have to do that. That's the only time I authenticate anything. You do it for every one of your apps. You use the authenticator.
Not everyone, but a couple of my apps that are usually like more likely apps to hack, I have those for. So like all my meta-based apps and everything, I use that.
Interesting.
So it helps, but you need a Face ID to get into that. So like I have had to like deconstruct and rebuild and have like all these other things set up. So it's been a pain in the ass. But I swear it could be a coincidence, but it was like the first domino to fall. This is weird. I keep getting emails. You know when you hit forgot password and they'll email you a code to change your password,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
I keep getting emails of like, here's your code because you're trying to change your password, but for super weird apps. Like, I know that people are probably trying to hack people's Facebook and Instagrams, and that's never good. You don't like it to get to a point where like the code's getting sent to you, but still, I'm like, okay. I got it sent to me, like my hospital app got sent to me, like you're trying to change like your like health record password. I'm like, no, I'm not. So I logged in separately, changed that password. And then 2 days later, I got a password change for LinkedIn.
Whoa, that's a deep dive hack.
No, this is weird. The last time I was on LinkedIn was before there was even an app. Like I logged in via desktop and I was like, it was when I was in college because I was trying to find jobs, like as I was graduating. That's the last time I was in there, okay?
You haven't been in your LinkedIn since college?
No, I hadn't updated it at all. And so, like, when I changed my password, I did. I'm like, well, let me throw some more stuff on here. But I haven't needed it because, like, luckily, like, I've I got the job after college, and then I just got other jobs. I wasn't like network shopping.
So does
right?
your LinkedIn say basically your job history was like mowing lawns or something?
like
By that
nothing.
point, there's nothing.
It wasn't a lot. I have
A
to be
waitress at
honest.
Famous Dave's. That's about it.
Yeah,
That's
there
all
wasn't
that's
a bunch
there.
on there, but
Okay.
I mean, you could tell it wasn't updated for a long time. But I'm like, what the hell? And I just think those are two really weird apps. And again, this is not like, this is someone who's gotten far enough to hit forgot password and get it emailed to me. And it's starting to freak me out. And I have changed all my passwords. I do a good job of not everything has the same password. So even if something got hacked, not everything could. But I'm genuinely starting to become terrified because what if somebody went on there and put like a LinkedIn? I'm like, that could be like, it sounds stupid, but weirdly detrimental because it's a business website. If you posted all this horrible like profanity or something, because it's like a bunch of network people. Like,
Sounds kind of fun.
That's a good idea. I
never thought of hacking someone's LinkedIn before and doing that to
could
them.
really ruin somebody with that.
This is a
Or
great
like
idea for enemies.
but like also just like my health history, like it's just super weird, and I honestly don't know what to do.
Well, let's be honest. With the health app, they're trying to get X-rays. That's what
What?
they're trying to look at your X-rays.
I don't think I have any X-rays.
Oh, you should get some then.
No, because apparently somebody wants them. So
If you have a health app and you had any kind of X-ray or things like that, I'm sure it's up there somewhere on there that you can access.
but why would that be beneficial? I don't even
Because
understand
they're
the health app
perverts.
works.
It's a pervert, you see. It's a pervert.
Oh, you mean like, okay, I didn't get that.
Yeah, they're
I
perverts.
thought you were like, they're like trying to steal bones or something.
No. Now, Kenzie, 608 on the text line said that your email leaked. And so I think what you have to do is you have to delete your email address.
Oh
you
my
have
God.
to delete all of your social media. You have to buy a new phone, and you basically have to start over.
I don't think that's the only solution.
No, I think that's it.
That's it.
That's the only thing you got going for you.
But what do you do if your and where? What does that even mean? My email is public. Like emails are easy to find. Like everybody's emails leak,
Yours
right?
is especially easy to find.
Yeah, so you have to start from zero.
Yeah, you got to start over.
You have to start from pre-internet.
Okay.
You have to get a Prodigy account.
What does an email leak even mean? And like, okay, say somebody bought information, right? Like, so it's like, oh no, it got sold to a company. Da 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 da. What is their goal of getting on my LinkedIn? Why would I don't understand? They're like, so my email got leaked, and they're like, "Where's your health app?"
Well, here's the thing.
Like, I don't get it.
Rachel from Indiana checked in too, and she said the same thing happening to her right now. So that's the same thing going on. So you have to go back to the great year of 1994. So instead of sending emails now, if you want to let somebody know something, you have to go to their house and tell them about it.
You have to ride your bike there,
You have to
knock on
ride-
the front door, and say, "Can I tell him something?"
You can't use any motorized device because, as Case hasn't seen the movie Maximum Overdrive yet, he's seen The Terminator, but that's also a movie maybe you should see down the road where the machines, nothing related to AI, just because of a comet that comes near Earth, the machines turn on everybody.
God.
So that's how that one goes. But yeah, Kenzie, you got to start over from zero. You got to delete everything.
I can't emphasize enough how unhelpful it is to work with both of you.
I thought we gave you a pretty good answer
No.
there. In the meantime, it's 8 o'clock, so you know what that means. Here we go.
When I go driving, I stay in my lane. That's okay, 'cause I got no self-esteem. And it feels like heaven so far away. Hey, hey, do that brand new thing. Now, why don't you get a chance? This is wrong. Nothing's free.
Let's go. You can delete all your internet and still have a lot of fun at the Offspring Supercharged Worldwide and 25 Tour. Special guest Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory. What a fun night that's going to be, Saturday, August 16th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m., but we got free ones, 312-591-8300. Call right now from our great partners and friends, Live Nation, and of course from Brian and Kenzie on Q101, Offspring tickets.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Beautiful song, Papa Roach. The Rise of the Roach Tour coming later this year with our great friends Rise Against. We had them in earlier in the year, and you can go back to our YouTube channel and see that entire interview when they hung out with us for about an hour here on the show. It was great, and that show they're doing overseas. They're not going to get to us till I think that's September, right? That show, Rise of the Roach Tour.
Week after Riot Fest, yeah.
Yeah, so Papa Roach and Rise Against. That's going to be incredible. But now it's time for Head-to-Head Lines. Every Wednesday we do it around this time at 8:20. We compile all the funniest headlines of the week. And we obviously spatter some of these through the entire show, but this is where we find the funniest ones, narrow it down to 2, and you decide what story you want to hear us chop up, get into. The rub is, we'll never talk about the other story again, so you choose wisely on the text line, but wait till you hear both headlines before you text in. So here we go. Headline number 1 of the week. Man charged second time with attempting sex act with Metrolink seat. Now, Metrolink is a train system in St. Louis that's very similar to our L or our Metro trains. So again, I'll read the headline. Man charged second time with attempting sex act with a Metrolink seat.
Must have been a good-looking seat.
That's your first thought?
Yeah.
That makes me never want to sit in public again.
But here's the thing. You fool me once, shame on me. Second time, that seat must have been doing something.
Way to victim blame the seat.
Yeah, what was
You
the
should be
seat wearing?
disgusted.
The seat was asking for it.
Rude.
Yeah, short skirt, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, you were asking for it. Wow. That's headline 1. If you like that one, and you want to hear more about that story, 312-591-8300. That would be headline 1 you put in the text. But not before you hear headline number 2, which is also perverted. Student sets school on fire trying to hide inflatable girlfriend from roommate.
What is happening?
Wow.
Kenzie, any notes for humanity after hearing these 2 headlines?
Maybe we should just cancel head to headlines. You know what I mean? I think we should all go home and reflect.
Well, this shows the loneliness out there, both these stories. Shows the loneliness out there and people just trying to cope with it different ways. A train seat or an inflatable girlfriend.
I was going to say, speak for yourself. They have people. They have things at the very least.
Well, again, this headline says, student sets school on fire. Trying to hide inflatable girlfriend. Didn't work out so well, but that's headline 2 if you want to hear more about that story. So text in headline number 1 or headline number 2 during Local H. When we come back, we'll let you which one wins, and then we'll break down that story completely for you. Remember, we'll never talk about the other story again. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and it's Head to Headlines. Every Wednesday at 8:20, we do it. We narrow down the funniest headlines of the week, give you 2 of them, and then you choose which one you want us to break down, which headline you love the most. The rub is we'll never talk about the other story again. The horror. But here are the headlines, and we'll let you know who won. So headline number 1 was, man charged second time with attempting sex act with a Metrolink seat, which is a train in St. Louis that takes you from the airport like our Metro or our L train. Again, I really accentuate second time in there.
Must have been a
You
good
really
looking
think
seat.
he wouldn't have been allowed back on public transit? Like, even if he was freed, it would be like, no public transit for you, though.
Yeah, but me personally, I'm all for second chances. Now, if I saw him trying to do whatever he was because it says sex act with a seat,
Yeah.
I'd probably say, hey, don't do that. The next time you come on the train, don't do that.
Hey, come on now.
Pull your pants
Come
up,
on now.
for God's sakes. And then if I saw him again, I'm like, bro, come on.
We talked about this.
No more second chances. Third chances, I should say. That's headline 1. And headline number 2 was also in a perverted form. But then again, I shouldn't say that. That's a little judgy. Student sets school on fire trying to hide, quote, inflatable girlfriend from roommate.
Dare you judge him? How dare you?
I've said it to myself. You're right. How dare me? How dare me
I'm
for
sure
doing
he
that?
had a good reason to endanger everybody over an inflatable
Before
balloon girl.
Listen, before we tell you who won, I think everybody has thought about, maybe I should buy an inflatable girlfriend. Every guy has said that, I mean. I think everybody's thought about it.
I just feel like that'd be very noisy. Wouldn't that suck?
What do you mean noisy? Like
I think
squeaking?
Yeah.
Like a balloon going, how do you make a balloon sound? How do you make
like,
that?
that sucks. The sound of it.
Well, I think if you're at a stage where you have the inflatable girlfriend, it's not like you are going to bother anybody with the noise. That means you're probably living alone.
Now,
But wouldn't it bother you? Wouldn't the noise bother you?
I think it'd be the least of my problems.
Ugh.
so you think it sounds like,
Squeak, 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 like a windbreaker coming your way.
you think it sounds like I'm trying to get the sound.
What do
up
you
here.
have on you that can make that sound?
Oh, I hate that sound.
Oh, see? The sound would bother you. Now, Case, get hard at the same time. Do
Don't have
it
to
right
ask me
now.
Twice.
Do it right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's the balloon sound. All right, that's gone. We won't do it anymore. Sorry, it's gone. That's what an inflatable girlfriend might sound like. So, the winner was student sets school on fire trying to hide inflatable girlfriend from roommate, by the way. So remember, it says from roommate. When you're saying if you're alone, you know what's going to happen there. No, not alone.
I apologize.
Not alone.
So let's get into it. Here it is, the winner of Head to Headlines today. A technology student is being mocked on Chinese social media for setting fire to his dorm while trying to hide his, quote, inflatable girlfriend from his roommate who returned early.
But he heard him down the hallway. I'd say that much.
How do you explain that? No. It's my first time. It was for you. It came in the mail by mistake. I thought I'd just try it.
He's like, you have a sign up that says happy anniversary.
Oh, boy. That's a rough first sentence there. Being caught with your pants down is one thing, but one student, it says, couldn't stand the thought of being caught with an inflatable doll, so he decided to set it on fire. Now, just think about that for a second. You do panic in situations like that. And I assume he pulled his pants up first. I assume he tried to deflate it really quick, maybe. I don't think setting on fire would be my first thought. And also, do you have gasoline and a lighter nearby while you're doing that?
I was just going to say, how did the guy return early and this guy had time to unmount his girlfriend, the plastic balloon, and set it on fire, pull his pants up before the guy saw?
It seems extreme. And
it also seems like he already saw, so he just started a fire afterwards.
Let's hear more of the story. Like when he walked in, if they say that and then he set it on fire, which is really too late. This happened from the South China Morning Post, and a student enrolled at China's University of Technology was thrown into a panic after his roommate returned unexpectedly. Every guy listening right now can relate to this situation. I'm not saying with an inflatable.
What?
When you're doing something alone
or with somebody, in my case.
Oh, I'm talking about.
Okay, Case, calm down.
Well, hey, it's not to tell tales out of school here.
Well, I think when you're with somebody, it's not embarrassing. When you're alone, no matter what, it's embarrassing.
I would argue still embarrassing.
When you're with somebody
and somebody else walks in.
Was it like your cousin or something?
No, Kenzie, I was not sleeping with my cousin.
I'm just asking, you were so embarrassed by it.
No, she was asking me if I was sleeping with my cousin, not if my cousin walked in.
I thought she meant if your cousin walked in.
No, I thought I was sleeping with
if I slept with my cousin.
Well, why are you so embarrassed about sleeping with somebody? I was just guessing. Sorry.
It's actually clout.
No offense.
Not sleeping with your cousin. If your cousin walked in and you're sleeping with somebody, that would be clout.
Yeah, my cousin was
Brian
really
wishes
cool.
he could have slept with his cousin.
No.
Brian's like, man, that'd be some clout.
That's not true. That is
me
not
up.
true. No. Okay, let's get back to the story. We're going to go off track.
I still don't know who slept with their cousin or not.
This guy slept with an inflatable doll. Your roommate returned unexpectedly, rushing into the hallway. The student tried to burn the doll. So I assume that, to your point, Kenzie, he walked in, saw, but he just ran out super quick because maybe he heard the key in the door. So maybe the roommate didn't see what was going on. He rushed into the hallway and tried to burn the doll. Again, I wonder
now you're in the hallway. Can't more people see the doll?
I assume his pants are up at this point and not still part of the doll.
Well, now you're in public with the doll. This is just getting worse.
So, again, I'm just fascinated with the amount of flammable materials he had nearby to burn a doll. Maybe he was ready for this.
You think he could have just popped it, maybe?
Yeah, this was his backup plan the whole time. So he went into the hallway. He tried to light the doll on fire. Of course, that lit the entire dorm on fire somehow. The fire alarm went off. So then everybody goes outside, and he has to go outside. So once the fire broke out, security guards, they called the fire department to deal with the blaze. Now, something he tried just to have his roommate not see, the entire school, fire department, the entire city now has seen.
We're talking about it in a Chicago morning radio show. This is his worst nightmare. This is like a movie.
Pour one out. There was no property losses or casualties, which is very good.
Except the inflatable girlfriend, R.I.P.
Yeah. So the school had to issue something after this saying these statement right here. Please do not use open flames to handle silicone items or other flammable materials in the building. Items that are no longer needed can be disposed of in the rubbish bin. They had to release that statement after this.
How about just, I can't believe how specific they made that. They should have said, please don't start any items on fire in the door, not just silk.
They could have even made it more specific and said, don't sleep with blow-up dolls in the dorm and then try to burn them when your roommate comes home unexpectedly. Jeff! They could have just said that.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.